What's up, humans, and welcome to a new Psicoactivo. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy April Fool's Day. I've seen already some jokes online. Please don't fall for anything you see. But yeah, have a good day, good April Fool's Day. If you're going to joke around, do so light-heartedly, please. Don't pull those practical jokes that nobody likes, please. Nobody likes getting punked. But yeah, I'm gonna talk today about one of the most serious aspects of this disclosure movement and UFO transparency and all of that. And this is always a tricky one because nobody wants to get in people's crosshairs, especially when we're talking about these secret keepers that don't want any of this to come out. Throughout history, there have been many, many cases, many instances of people who try to come out with some level of truth about these topics. We can think of, for example, Dr. John Mack and the way he passed away. He was part of a hit and run incident back in the 90s. We can think about Dr. Itzakh Bentov, who was onto something with consciousness studies and his investigation into human evolution. And he died in that O'Hare plane crash in Chicago. We have Dr. Jacobo Grinberg, who was about to make telepathy and quantum entanglement between human minds mainstream, and he disappeared in early 1994. We have Amy Eskridge, who has a number of lectures talking about anti-gravity, and she passed away also under mysterious circumstances. We have Phil Schneider. Some people don't want to believe his story, but he did die under mysterious circumstances as well. And we have Mark McCandlish from the famous ARV story, who also died under mysterious circumstances. And he literally said that he was scared out of his mind because he felt like he was in danger. Countless stories like that. And I'm going to show you one that some people might have forgotten, just so you can realize how serious this can get for people who are trying to do this. And that is also one of the reasons why I don't make a bigger fuss about Dr. Nolan blocking me or people at Soul, but specifically Dr. Nolan, because I know that he receives constant threats online and to his email and stuff like that. So I obviously don't want him to think that I'm just making his life even more difficult than it already is. So that's why I completely understand why he blocks a lot of people. And after you see the clip that I forgot to share with you guys the day before yesterday, you will understand a little more and a little better. But first, I got Jake Barber for you guys, so you guys can remember what he said when he spoke to Jesse Michaels on American Alchemy.
Kind of gigabrain, next level historical philosophical thinker, and just also very high integrity guy.
Yeah.
So.
Mr. Gresh, finally, do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely, based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years.
Are you one of David Grush's 40 firsthand witnesses that he says he presented to the Intelligence Community Inspector General Thomas Monheim?
No, Dave and I met after his initial complaint was filed with the ICIG, and those guys represented a set. I don't know the 40. I know of some of them. One of them is the guy who's no longer with us, whose demise was quite conveniently timed for those who might have something to do with it. But sorry, I didn't mean to go there with it. But no, that was a different group. I'm part of a new group that met Dave in this process. You know, I didn't know what Dave was doing at the same time we were doing it. Like, we were going through the Dopser process at about the same time. And we were experiencing our whistleblower transition at the same time Dave was. Like, it was weird. Like, it was both happening at the same time. but completely different. You got to remember, like, Dave is way up here at the shoulder, like the high-end administrative end of the intel and the government's program. I'm down here on the fingertips trying to figure out what's going on, and we ended up meeting in the middle.
We've been hearing about this for a while in the back channels. Apparently, one of those people that Grush put forward to Thomas Monheim is no longer with us. We don't know any details about what happened to this person, but they do seem to think that these secret keepers had something to do with his demise. And now I'm going to show you what Dr. Nolan talked about, which I found was extremely concerning, and just gives you a better idea or a better grasp of what is going on and how dangerous this can be, because there's people that mock this. I think that you shouldn't. I think that if somebody with the credentials and the trajectory as Dr. Garry Nolan, a Nobel Prize nominee, one of the world's leading immunologists, when he's talking about this openly and denouncing threats against his life, I think people should pay attention to it and they should take it seriously. It's no joke. So whenever you see one of these trolls or debunkers making fun of something like this, just make sure you let them know that you're calling them out for it, because we can't trivialize stuff like this. This is serious. But I'm going to play you what Dr. Nolan said. Just this clip right here. It's not that long.
Why amnesty is required. I mean, I've said this publicly, so I'll say it again here. I was personally threatened because I knew of a conversation that happened somewhere. And I alluded to it in the most elliptical fashion on a public broadcast. Literally a couple of days later, I get a phone call from a friend saying, XYZ at the White House is really pissed at you, and you should not ever say anything like that again because Title 18 applies. I said, what does that mean? Lethal force is operable. I'm not kidding you.
Oh my God.
I put down the phone and I honestly, I nearly broke down in tears. And I called a reporter friend of mine to just basically report it to them, to say, this just happened to me. I was just threatened. Because they knew what I was saying. Nobody else would have known what it was what I was alluding to.
Regardless of whether or not it's aliens, if they think you're disclosing their secure information, you might not. Well,
I wasn't supposed to know it because I heard it from a friend who wasn't supposed to tell me in the first place. But
it's that serious, and we need for people to understand that whenever you're like demanding for evidence and demanding for people to just come clean or to quote unquote take one for the team, you have no fucking idea of what you're talking about. People are risking their lives doing this. And I know that amongst all the noise and all the UFO Twitter cesspool that place is, there's a lot of people that do trivialize this and do say that it is bullshit. But it is not bullshit. It's real. People have died over decades because they're trying to come out with the truth and they're just not allowed. With the internet coming forward, a lot of these methods from these secret keepers have morphed into something new. They no longer have the luxury of just making someone disappear without any questions being asked. But they do have other methods. They have character assassination. They have doxing. They have harassing. They infiltrate groups, posing as people who are like friendly to the topic. And eventually they poison this whole space with ill-intentioned rhetoric and other different means that become more noise and prevent for people who are genuinely looking for the truth to find answers. This is happening. So whenever you feel a little desperate for answers, especially those who have been looking into this since 2017, just keep in mind, this has been happening for decades. before 2017, there was no way that this topic was being talked about amongst Congress people or amongst senators, and even less within the military, because the moment you said something even remotely close to UFOs, you were instantly sent to the psychologists. And now things have changed. The stigma is receding a little bit. That is positive. That's a good thing. But there's still a lot of work to do. And there's still a lot that they can't talk about because it is highly classified information, or their lives could be at stake if they do talk about certain things. So please understand, it's not that easy. If you want these answers so badly, go get them yourself. See how it goes for you. And let me know how it goes for you if you go get them yourself. And another thing that I want to address, that I think it's important, because me as a journalist, I am approached by people constantly trying to tell me that they want to tell a story, that they want to, for people to know what they experienced. There have been a couple of times when I've been approached by people who claim to be part of programs or claim to be part of some secretive aspect of the government, and they claim to want to blow the whistle. These people are vetted by me whenever this happens. And if I don't find the information that can tell me that this person is legit who they say they are, I will ignore them. And there's been more than once that I've been accused of being a coward or sit idly while people are like in danger, because I'm not using my platform to give them the voice that they want. To those people, I say, first of all, if you can't be vetted, you can't expect for someone to take you seriously. And second of all, you have no right of asking someone to risk their lives or their family's lives just because of an unverified story that you're trying to uncover. If you want to approach a journalist asking them for help, you better have all your sources completely vetted and confirmed. So this journalist doesn't take too many risks, because journalists also take risks when they're receiving information of this nature. And this is something that just regular people or even people from the military don't understand. They think, oh, he's a journalist, he will be no, dude, we also take risks. And I'm not going to jeopardize my family's safety for anything. I'm sorry. I'm not taking one for the team. This needs to be done responsibly. And if you don't understand that, then go look somewhere else. I'm not helping any of you. But yeah, I wanted to talk about that just to give you guys like a proper scope of how serious this can get sometimes, from Dr. Garry Nolan himself. And there's been plenty of other people, big names, who receive constant threats and constant harassment, and they try to dox them and all of that. And this is stuff that normal people like us don't see that often. They don't talk about it that often because they're afraid. So kudos to Dr. Nolan for being brave enough to talk about this. I know it's not easy. Let me know what you think in the comments about this. What do you think about Dr. Garry Nolan being brave enough to come out and say this? Who at the White House would you guess was the one angry at him? Let's place a timeline. Let's say it was post 2017. Who do you think at the White House was angry at him for saying whatever he said? I have no idea what he was talking about. I have no idea what interview he was talking on, but I'm sure people are going to start digging and they'll probably find something that resembles this. Let me know if you do. If you like the content you see, I'm going to ask you to please like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell icon. You can share the content anywhere. You can also become a member if you like. You can also see us on all the KGRA feeds. We're always there. And if you want to support the channel in any other way, I'm going to leave a few links in the description. Thank you for your help and your support, as always. And that's it for me today on this video, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, stay curious, stay inquisitive. Bye.